You know him from movies like Swingers, Elf, and directing the Iron Man movies. His latest film, Cowboys and Aliens, is in theaters now. Welcome to Lopez Tonight, Jon Favreau! What's going on? It's all for you.
It's always like this? Thank you.
Hey, you did one of these.
I got one of these here. That's old school.
Hey. So I saw the movie on Thursday. I loved it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go over some elements, hopefully, if you let me.
Thank
but
you.
congratulations on Cowboys and
Hold
Aliens.
on a second. Before I could say congratulations, the big surprise hit of the year, Smurfs. Can we hear it for this guy, for the Smurfs? That came out, can I just tell you something? That came out of nowhere. I love the Smurfs. I watched them when I was little. And it looked like it was going to make some money. And then we kept getting, you know, when you get a movie coming out, you get phone calls. You're like, these Smurfs are starting to make some money. And by the end of the weekend, it was looking like it was like a tie for #1. And I had all I can say is I have a big blue skid mark in my drawers now from what you guys were able to do. So you got to give it up to the Smurfs.
Thank you, man. That's very kind of you. Here's what I love. There's a lot of things that I love about you, but let's talk about this. You sneak into screenings as the director of your movies. Did you sneak in this weekend?
I do all the time. I started doing it back when I was an actor in movies like Rudy and Swingers.
Wait a minute.
And, pause. We put pause.
One of the greatest.
But with the comedies and with films like this, action movies, or movies like Iron Man, when you could go in there and get this, you're a lucky man. You have this every night. You don't get this experience when you're making movies.
Right.
And so to be able to sneak into the movie theater and sit in the back and hear people laugh and cheer, and Cowboys and Aliens is one of those movies where the crowd gets scared, where they cheer, where they laugh. So
right.
It's fun as a director to get that feedback after 2 years of making the movie.
Absolutely, you're right. You're right, because there's so much that people don't see that's not about filming the movie when you do a movie like Cowboys and Aliens, right?
Yes.
You're referring
to the drinking?
Yes.
That went on during
There's some good bars.
The parties?
In New Mexico, there's some great bars.
We were having a good time.
So,
and also, while you talk about New Mexico, Breaking Bad is the best show
on
right
TV.
now. And you got Aaron back there.
Yeah.
He's the best. I mean, I just met him backstage.
What if Cowboys and Aliens hooked up with some of that blue stuff they have on Breaking Bad?
Yes. We could have all three. They could be smoking Smurfs.
It's made out of Smurfs.
Yeah.
Now, I love your love of movies and your love of the history of movies. Now, you were an usher. Do you remember back when you were an usher?
Yeah, Queens. Queens is like
and
Los Angeles, but in New York.
Did you want to be in the movies? Yeah, it is, exactly.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah.
Did it be that you wanted to be around movies, that you love movies so much, or was it a gig?
It was a gig, but I love movies, and that was before VCRs. Let me tell you, kids. Before VCRs, you couldn't just watch your movies, and if you wanted to get exposed to something erotic, it was the Macy's catalog or the underwear ads.
Yeah.
But thanks to the VCRs and then DVDs, those of you who don't remember VCRs, they were DVDs.
My God. Did you ever get your clock to work? I never did.
No. But you know, you go to the movie theater, and by working at the movie theater, there was a place called the RKO Keith's in Flushing, and I would watch the movies over and over again. And part of the fun about doing Cowboys and Aliens is, when I was an usher, I was watching Indiana Jones 2, Return of the Jedi, over and over and over again. And now here I am on the set with Harrison Ford, who is a hero to me.
Congratulations.
So
That's awesome, man. That's great. You know what? when you're making movies like that and you remember that, and then all of a sudden you're working with him that closely, it really does mean something, doesn't it? That's the beauty of Hollywood. There's so much negativity in Hollywood, but those are the moments that warm you and make you even work harder. And one of those things where you can't believe that you're there.
And I think, honestly, you know, your jokes are really good at the beginning of the movie, and there's all sorts of, excuse me, the beginning of the show, everything's a movie. Beginning of the show, and all the political turmoil that's going on, you got to give it up for America, a place where people like us could start off as nothing, and we make it, and we can live our dreams. I think it's a beautiful thing. And for me to be able to do
absolutely
that,
right. You're right. Here's what I love about Harrison Ford. He was so connected to Cowboys and Aliens, he took his earring out for the movie.
Yes, he did. He did.
Right?
He took his earring out, but he didn't leave his helicopter home. He's a big helicopter guy and a big flyer, Harrison Ford.
So he flies himself?
He flies. It's in his deal. It's like, you know, a lot of times insurance companies won't let you take private planes and stuff. He has his own planes. He's got his own helicopters. God bless the guy. And he would fly his helicopter from his place out to the ranch. You know, it's like a 2-hour drive. It would take you like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And he'd be there, and he'd show up with the, you know, it was like, you know, Apocalypse Now, and he'd show up there. And then he'd start, you know, as he got to know us, he'd start to, you know, he had 4 seats in there. He'd be like, you want to ride home? And it would, you know, and you know, part of you is like, well, how good are you at this? You know what I mean? It's not the Jetsons where, you know,
No, but that's the
Elroy
dude
could
from
drive.
Star Wars looking back at you going, are you all right? Did he say anything to you?
I know, yeah. He let me sit next to him, so I'm like, I'm Chewbacca. You know, I was very happy. You know? And I was like,
All right, we're going to come back with more Jon Favreau right after this. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. And Aliens. Now you've worked with some amazing actors.
Yes.
In the movies that you've directed.
yes.
They're all got a little bit of eccentric. Who is the most? I think I know the answer, but let me hear it from
I
you.
think hands down, it's got to go to Mickey Rourke.
Right?
Iron Man 2. Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
But he absolutely knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and he knows he's eccentric too. He's like, I want a bird.
Did he have his chihuahua?
In the movie? Oh, yeah, his chihuahua had just passed away.
Yeah.
Which was serious business.
I'm glad I brought it up.
He's got a lot of them too. And his Loki, his favorite one was Lost, and he wanted a bird. Yeah. And then the bird is in the movie also. We worked that in, and he showed up with like gold teeth, and he wears whatever overalls. We worked it in good, but he makes a lot of his own choices. Let's put it that way. And he wanted to do his part all in Russian, which we worked out. And then I was looking. My friend said, "Do you know Mickey is on YouTube?" I said, "What's he on YouTube? Is it TMZ?" He says, "No, he's in Russia in jail." He flew himself to Russia and got himself locked up in a prison as research while we were rehearsing. So it was, he goes above and beyond, but does a hell of a job.
I never heard anybody get thrown in jail and call it research. That's the greatest. Where were you? I spent 6 months researching the automobile industry.
Right.
So how did you first think of the idea of Cowboys and Aliens?
Well, it wasn't my idea originally. I'd heard about it, which I was like, what the hell movie is that? That's could be really cool or it could be really weird, or both. And it was actually Steven Spielberg and Ron Howard were working on that idea. It had been a script. It was based on a comic book many, many years ago. And they sent me the script for it. I said, this could be really cool to work with these guys. I look up to those two very much.
Right.
And I read the script, and it was great. It got the tone just right. It's scary. It's creepy. It's a Western. It's sci-fi. And I figured something original might be good because the summer, you know, there's a lot of movies you've seen before.
You're
and
right.
I thought something original
You know
might
what?
be
You
cool.
captured all of that. And in this movie, the bad guys, the cowboys, the Indians, everybody's on the same side.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that in a movie where everyone is on the...
That's because there's aliens. There's no other way.
That's right. Everybody's against aliens. Yeah. So Olivia Wilde, beautiful.
Yes.
Now, when you're filming a scene, we're talking about the end scene, was like 40 horses.
Yes.
And you're behind the camera.
Yes.
Can you tell when something goes wrong?
Yeah, well, you can when a horse rides up with nobody on it. I've not directed any Westerns before this, but when there's an empty horse at the end of a take, not a good sign. And she had been bucked off because they were going full tilt, and fortunately, she had grown up riding. She knew how to roll and get out of the way.
Yeah.
Walton Goggins, the actor from, he was on The Shield. He stopped the horse sideways and prevented people from trampling her, but it was a little scary there. I mean, we had a good time, but when you're messing around, when you see the movie, if you haven't yet, you'll see this, with the horses and the explosions and the aliens and the horses coming together. They were big stunts. It was a big show, and it's not all like Iron Man where you draw it all later. Yeah. We draw the aliens in, but you're doing a lot of stuff there in the desert on the set.
Crazy. Well, congratulations there too. I mean, it's unbelievable. Seriously, Jon, that's great work. Now, here's what I like. You brought a clip just for us.
Yes, I did.
Right?
Yeah.
Can you set the clip up?
Well, I figured, the Smurfs have animated characters in it, and we have animated characters too. There's something for everybody this summer. Let's put it that way. So this clip I brought is the cowboys the townspeople get kidnapped, and their relatives get kidnapped by the aliens, and over the course of the film, they're searching for the hive of the aliens, and now they finally find it. And they kind of kick the hornet's nest, and this is your first sense of what our alien personality is like.
So he did this scene just for us. Okay, here it is. Everybody look at this.
They're not going down! They will! He managed! Can we get our people out? Yeah!
How about that? Brilliant work. Cowboys and Aliens is in theaters everywhere. Jon Favreau. We'll be right back.